Okay, I think it is live now, right?
Hello and welcome everyone. This is the era of technology and digitalization, where we can see every technology is upgrading every day. The digital revolution took place in the later half of the 20th century only, but nowadays we can see its impact in each and every field of our life. The best example we can see is this COVID pandemic condition, as we are not able to make any contact with other people. So we are handling our tasks with the help of digital technology. From learning of a child to managing our daily activity, we all depend on the digital world. And this digital world is going so smooth because we have some tremendous technology which makes our life easy and smooth. So me Shushma along with my partner Ajay is excited to host this session organized by Baba Ki Pathshaala team. Let me make you familiar with the Baba Ki Pathshaala. Baba Ki Pathsala is an online platform which provides an opportunity to users for their overall development rather than just academics. We ensure this by offering a wide platform including extracurriculars as well as mental health support to the user by offering them psychological help. We aim to develop these skills which are required for handling real life situations. We also segment the knowledge areas of user so that when they enter the real world they have ability to handle it. So without any delay, we are going to start a healthy and informative conversation over emerging technology in the current world, and the world is full of diamonds and gems. We are having one of them here today to build this event more excited. With this note, I would like to give my heartiest welcome to our speaker, Mr. Animesh Sharma. Mr. Animesh Sharma is applied data scientist at world-renowned organization Amazon. He has done his BTech in electrical engineering from IIT Roorkee. I would like to welcome Animesh sir and thanks a lot to give your time for this session. We are really excited to hear your concern over today's emerging technology.
Hi everyone, thanks for having me here.
So can you share your views on the emerging technology?
Okay, sorry, I didn't get the question there. So I guess my background has mostly been using machine learning algorithms and some AI techniques to solve real world problems at corporations like Samsung and Amazon. I have done a couple of internships at Samsung and Amazon, and now I'm working at Amazon. So my background has mostly been applying those algorithms to problems that these companies face. Like, for example, you would have like a video recording for your backyard, and you would want to process that, how you can use AI there to efficiently process it. It can be a home security device, it can be anything else. Some other application would be to, if you go to Amazon site, you can see product info there, reviews and Q&As about the product. So that's a huge amount of data. Like you would have millions and millions of different products which are available at Amazon. And if you want to process that those Q&As just a small example can be, you would have something which you would want to moderate in terms of like, if you see there are some cuss words or some other language which is not acceptable in your day-to-day use, you would want to filter that out, and you can't do that in a manual process. So AI and ML techniques can definitely help there in order to filter out that information. So these are some of the implementations, and right now, other than Amazon, other than what I've worked on, there are like other applications like AI has been able to match human performance in the game of Go, which is a complicated board game. uh, it has been able to match performance in a game of chess as well. So my viewpoint, my background has mostly been in this field, and I can comment that the use of AI has been increasing in our day-to-day life, and it's going to it's going to continue to shape the future of our daily activities.
Thank you so much, Animesh, sir. Your words really make me a clear understanding of today's emerging technology. Sir, I wanted to know that nowadays all people want to learn AI, machine learning, deep learning. So, what is the existence of AI in market?
Uh, So, like I said, there are a lot of opportunities available at different multinational corporations like Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. It's everywhere. I have a few friends who work in each of these companies. And most of them are also working on AI and ML only. So there are a lot of opportunities available. And if you don't want to work for an MNC, like uh, not everyone wants to work at a multinational corporation. So you can go for really good startups or mid-sized companies like Airbnb, Snapchat, who also work with uh, ML technologies and applications. So there are a lot of opportunities available there, which you can work with. Uh, Other than that, there's a lot of positions available in academia as well. So if you want to go back to school, you want to do a PhD, and you want to continue teaching, I think one of the IITs, IIT Hyderabad, started a specialization in artificial intelligence. So that's also an option available to people who are interested in AI.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, I would like to know that how all this machine learning, AI, deep learning, natural language processing, big data become popular among the people.
Um, I guess the algorithms were always there. People were not able to utilize those algorithms because of computing resources, which changed around like 2009 or 10, when companies like Nvidia and AMD, these are the chip making companies, who started developing GPUs, and later Google developed TPU, which is like a tensor processing unit, and GPU is a graphic processing unit which you use in your gaming machines. It's an example you can easily relate to. Uh, so, since these computing resources became available, you could process a huge amount of data, and one of the bottleneck for earlier algorithms was that availability of data. The other one was computing resources. Data was collected over time. Uh, so you had data, you had the computing resources, and it was actually inevitable that these things would become popular over time, and people will start applying to your day-to-day activities and applications, and that's how the boom started.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Sir, I want to know that like if I want to start learning machine learning, AI, deep learning, so is any open source data available in the net that I can take data and I can do real life time practice? Is it possibility?
So you can, if you have some background, there's this site called Kaggle, which is Kaggle. It's very similar to your other coding, competitive coding platforms like CodeChef and HackerRank. You can just go there, you can download data from there, and you can start playing around with data and generate results. But if you want to start from scratch and if you want to learn about AI and ML, you can start with couple of educational websites like Coursera or an academy or some other website which have a lot of options available, and most of them are also free. So you can just start learning there. They have exercises as well with data available. So you can complete those assignments, you'll get some practice, and then you can move over to Kaggle and you can just start practicing there, and that would be a good starting point.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I want to know that you have done your bachelor in electrical steam. How you are in this field? Can you please explain your journey?
So I did a couple of internships during my undergrad, and in the internship, I realized that over time I came to realize that I didn't have that much of an interest in electrical and the courses that I was taking. I did my first summer internship in IIT Kanpur, which was like a research internship under a professor there in computer science department, and I came to realize that I would want to work in the field of ML. That was the starting point. Then I took a couple of courses in my undergrad at Roorkee. Uh, I did a minor in computer science as well. My third year internship was also in the field of machine learning. So I just wanted to explore this field more and make up my mind. It's your undergrad years are mostly your exploration. It's an opportunity for you to explore your interests. So I was doing that, and then I decided that I want to learn more about specifically about ML and the other courses that are available there. So I applied for grad school, and I continued on this path. Did my internship in the same field as well, and then did my grad school also.
Okay, sir. Sir, I want to know that one more field nowadays very much popular, that is we all are aware, that is data scientist. So what is the existence of data sciences? How someone prepare themselves for this role?
So I haven't specifically worked in data science, but I have worked with people who are data scientists. I have a couple of friends, so I can give you an overview about data science. The one thing is that data science and software engineers or machine learning engineers or applied scientists, they have a lot of overlap in the sense that uh, sometimes software engineers also have to do the work that data scientists do in terms of writing SQL queries and getting data and cleaning up data. But data scientists, on one hand, most of their tasks are related to getting data, working with data, applying ML algorithms to data, and mostly generating results and doing analysis and presenting those results. Software engineers also have to deploy those models in production. So that's one major difference. And then applied scientist, which I work as, is a mixture of all the things. And there's some additional work in the sense that you also have to research the problem and come up with a solution in the sense that study the problem, what can be a potential solution there, and you try to apply it, play around with, and see what is the most optimum result that you can get, and you try to write the production code as well. So this is the major difference. Coming back to the question of how you can do data science, I'm guessing if you are in school right now, you can start with Coursera courses. You will get a taste of what data science is. If you do get interested in it, you can always apply to grad school or you can do your master's. And there are a lot of programs which are specifically there for data science and data science courses. And yes, the opportunities are always there for data scientists because everyone is hiring for data science right now.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, can you know the basic difference between machine learning and deep learning? Is there any correlation between them?
So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. It's a kind of particular kind of machine learning. Machine learning is basically encompasses all the algorithms which are out there, which with which you can train your computer or any AI device to learn the patterns which are out there in the world, like the data that you have. You would want your machine to learn that particular the pattern which is there in the data. So machine learning algorithms help you in training your device or your computer. Deep learning is one specialized branch of machine learning, which consists of very deep networks, which can be neural networks, which is again one kind of ML network out there. And the name is based on the neurons that you have in your brain, but the similarity kind of ends there. It's fashioned along those lines, but it's not. It's a very simplified version of the brain. So again, deep learning, it's you stack a lot of layers. Layers are just one set of neurons, which is like a unit. You can think of it as a basic unit of your network, and it's a very deep network. You can think of deep learning as a very big network, which can take in a lot of data and try to decipher the pattern out there. And the more data you feed to a deep learning network, the better it will get at the task that you are training it for.
Thank you, sir. Sir, nowadays I'm seeing that even a commerce background also wants to become come in the AI machine learning fields. So, if they don't know coding, is it possible to do the AI machine learning coding, and is it necessary to do the master study?
So if you're from the commerce background and if you want to get into the field of machine learning or deep learning, you can always go down the path of becoming a product manager at tech companies. They also work with ML and AI projects, but you won't get any hands-on approach in the field of AI or deep learning. For that, coding is absolutely necessary in the sense that without coding, you won't be able to work on the projects which are out there in these tech companies. Even for data scientists, they also have to do a fair bit of coding, and the same goes for data engineers as well. Business intelligence engineers, I think they also work a bit somewhat with AI techniques out there. ML engineers, everyone has to do a fair bit of coding, so you will need a background there. But if you don't want to do coding, then you can always become a product manager, but that won't be a hands-on role.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I want to know that how we can relate data structure, operating system, natural language processing, artificial intelligence. Are these terms are interrelated?
Uh, Sorry, can you repeat the terms? One was operating systems, one was data structure, and the last one was machine learning. Are these the terms which are out there? Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Sir, I want to know that data structure, AI, natural language processing, are these terms are interrelated?
Okay. So Natural language processing is one particular application of machine learning. It's kind of natural language processing, basically working with languages and text, and how you can apply ML algorithms to these applications. It's kind of like if you have an iPhone, there's Siri, which is like a voice assistant on your iPhone, and you can talk with this artificial voice assistant, and you can communicate what your thoughts are, and you can get answers in reply. So this is natural language processing. It is exactly speech processing, but natural language processing can be something like if you type a query on your Google Chrome, uh, you will get some answers. So they do a fair bit of natural language processing in the background, in the sense that they work with text. The ML algorithms try to understand text, and then they try to generate results based on their understanding. So this is like, as the name says, natural language processing. Um, that's how NLP and ML relate. Data structures is it's something that if you have a coding background, data structures are something like uh, you would have trees, graphs. These are some of the data structures you have. These are the basic building blocks of coding. And coding is closely related to ML. You can't write ML applications and ML the core basic algorithms without using data structures. So that's how data structures and ML relate. And operating system is basically it's how your machine works. Uh, it's your Windows, it's your Linux device, and it's also closely integrated with ML in the sense that you have chips nowadays, and the chips, how you communicate with chips is through operating systems, and people are developing specialized chips just for the purpose of using them for AI applications. So that's how operating system relates to all the other things. So these things are closely related.
Thank you so much for clearing our doubt. I want to know that what do you think about robot technology and what technology robot is based on?
Um, so I don't have a hands-on experience with robotics. I have never taken a course in robotics, but from my friends' experience and some other people that I know, robotics is a combination of computer vision and now natural language processing is also involved, and it's a fair bit of mechanical engineering as well, uh, and also sensors. So it's a combination of all these things. You want to put sensors in your robots, and they use these sensors to accumulate data about their surrounding. Once they have this data, they transfer it to their chip processing unit, and the chip processing unit tries to understand the data that it has gathered. And in order to understand that data, you would want to use ML algorithms so that you can make a sense of out of this data and find the patterns there, and also generate the response from your robot. So that's basically how the whole thing reacts. Computer vision is again it's another application of machine learning. Uh, NLP is your text. Computer vision is basically your vision, the things you see out there. Uh, you capture those things. You want to store the information and you want to process that information. So that is the whole field of computer vision. So
Right.
that's how robotics is involved. Uh,
Okay. So yeah, let us take some questions from the viewers also. That someone named iPhone has asked that, sir, could you please suggest a career path based on SQL and ML? So yeah, Animesh, if you could answer that, please.
so SQL and ML is closely related to all the possessions which are out there available for machine learning. Data scientists work with SQL and ML as well. Data engineers also work with them, business intelligence engineers, applied scientists, and machine learning engineers. So almost all the opportunities are out there for people who know both SQL and ML, and these things are very necessary for machine learning.
Okay, okay. So, yeah, there is also one question from Saurav. Sir, please share that platform name here in chat, which you mentioned for learning AI and ML. Right.
Uh, I guess I can type that. That's just, it's a very popular learning platform. It's Coursera. I think there are others also available. I'm forgetting the name, but you can start with Coursera and you can type on Google. Can also like there's open source courses available from Stanford as well, the university, and also Columbia as well. So you can go to any university, the famous ones which are known for their ML programs, and you can start looking up the courses there, and you
Yeah,
learn
also,
from there.
yeah, also you can go for upgrade courses also. Actually, I recently came across such courses, so I can suggest upgrade also you can take it, right? And yeah, next question is from Pranav Kumar, that can you please explain a small model of ML, like relating to real life, that how it actually is linked to real life.
Uh,
Hmm.
so uh, I mean, the problem that I am working with right now is which you can use, or not even that. You can think of an application where it's the most basic thing that we are taught in ML courses is like you have a camera out there and you have students in your class, and imagine a scenario in which you don't have to take the attendance by a roll call. Instead, you can take a picture of the class out there and you can process that picture, the faces which are there in that image, and you can just uh, process that in a matter of couple of seconds to know who all are out there, and that can give you an idea. It's a very basic application. It's your face recognition, how people identify who was present at that particular moment in that recording. It's a very crude application, but many governments have deployed that on large scale, like the Chinese government and other people out there as well. Uh, in your phone, if you're using your phone, the face recognition feature in which you use to unlock your phone, that also runs on ML.
Okay, great, great. That was a great, really great insight. And although it was just a basic example, so you can just imagine that if we go to the advanced levels of ML and AI, we can do wonders, right? So yeah, let us take one more question, that from where to start if one knows only SQL.
So if you know SQL, you know how to work with data, how to collect data, and also how to clean up data. The next step would be to learn basic ML algorithms. So if you can have your data in a clean up format in a CSV or a TSV or some other file format, JSON, you can just start with basic algorithms like linear regression and logistic regression, and you can start playing around with that data. It's very simple. And the next step would be to learn more about these courses by going to these sites like what I mentioned, Coursera, and what Ajay mentioned, like Upgrad. So that would be the next logical step.
Okay, great, great. So yeah, Sushma, you can continue. Yeah, Sushma, am I audible to you? Okay, great, great. So yes, you can proceed now, Sushma.
Okay. So I want to know that how people should prepare themselves to face new technology challenges in upcoming years.
If you are trying to enter the field of software engineering or machine learning per se, I would suggest that you start with the you try to keep yourself up to date with the latest technologies, in the sense that if you're in school right now, or if you're trying to break into the field of software engineering, uh, try to learn the latest technologies, because most of the tech companies would be using those technologies only, and you don't have to cover the whole history. It's not necessary. It's not very useful to know old, updated languages and technologies. So try to start there. Try to work on problems. Try to take some courses and get hands-on experience by doing some assignments, doing some competitions. Uh, Once you are in this field and you have worked for like a year or two, try to read on the latest papers that come out, or the latest technologies that come out. If you're part of an MNC, if you're working there, if you are part of a company, they have a lot of resources in terms of like they will have credits available which you can use to take courses, or you can read papers. If you are in the field of ML, you can try to play around with the code bases which are available, because most of the authors, they open source their code, so you can access them very easily. So yeah, that would be
Okay.
my suggestion.
Sir, I wanted to know that ML, AI, all are related to data. So, in future, can we apply this the COVID situation data, apply ML or AI?
So if you have a lot of good quality data, for sure you can use the ML algorithms to play to definitely get some insights in COVID. People have started doing that, but I don't think a lot of good quality or a official data set is available for COVID-19 right now. But people are trying their best to assess the whole situation, try to come up with solutions for this problem, in the sense that they would try to predict the breakout of COVID-19 in some places, by going through the data. This is one application. Some people have also tried to get the X-ray image of your lungs and your whole chest cavity, and try to assess the percentage of damage, and how many days are left for that particular person. But there's still a long way to go, because I mean, if uh, peop even the people who are trying to develop the vaccine have not been able to understand the situation properly, because of the limited amount of information available. So ML algorithms would have a hard time deciphering right now. But yeah, for sure, once human beings are able to understand the situation, I think we would be able to develop technologies which can effectively deal with the situation.
I want to know that how you do think this technology makes a better place for the human being in future?
Uh, it can, I guess it can assist people in tasks which are very mundane, in the sense that you wouldn't want to pay a lot of attention to things which are not very necessary. One prime example can be, if a person is really busy in his day-to-day life, in his work, and in his personal life, uh, there are some robots available who can clean up your. It's a company called iRobot, which can clean up your apartment, at least do the clean up the surface of your apartment. So that's one application of AI. Other one is Amazon. There are a lot of warehouses, and Amazon deals with millions of products orders daily. So you have to stock up those orders in your warehouses, and you have to route them to the correct locations, and you have to package those orders. In order to do that, a lot of manual effort is required, which is not very necessary. So you can use ML and the advanced technology to come up with those robots, develop those robots, and you can speed up that process and eliminate the manual effort which you can use in some other place. So it would be able to aid humanity and help people in tasks which won't require a lot of manual effort.
Okay. So
Okay,
I
great.
wanted to know that earlier our language is using, but nowadays Python language comes into the market. So like which language we should prefer to use for AL or ML,
AI
Python or
and
R
ML.
Studio?
Yeah.
Uh, so I've never worked with R. I've heard that R was used a while back for AI and ML, but right now most of the major companies use Python. So Python is a preferred choice right now.
Okay, okay. So yeah, Animesh. Can you just inform us about the recent upcoming developments? Like we have already heard, it works on the neuro technology that every unit is considered as neuron, right? You were explaining about it. So what about the use of AI and ML in developing a artificial brain? Right, right. It is very fantasy to just may think about it that artificial brains are being developed already. Heart and the parts of heart are being artificially developed. So is there any kind of use of the technology like AI and ML in developing these kind of things?
So artificial parts of heart are not very complex in the sense that heart is a very mechanical thing. People already understand how heart works
Yeah.
and how blood pumps in and out. So it was a very mechanical process, but even until now, people don't understand how brain works. Like they have a overall like a very crude idea of how brain works. Neurons, again, as I said, it was named after the neurons. Neural network was named after neurons in brain, but it was a very crude understanding. It's a very simple unit. It's not at all not at, it's not at all very similar to what you have in your brain, which is very complex. And AI, while a lot of advancement has been made, uh, in text processing and vision understanding, but still a lot of work has to be done there, and it's very primitive if you compare it with human brain, and it might be a possibility, but it's very far out in the future right now.
Okay, 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 great. So, any viewers who would like to ask their question can just turn on their camera and ask the questions right away, right? So, Pranav is there, Aditya, Sunil, Chandan, Rahul is also there, Saurav is there, right? So, any one of them who are interested in asking any kind of doubt, they can just turn on their camera and show up and ask the doubts, right? Or else they can type in the chat box also. Yeah. So Rahul, Chandan, Pranav, Sunil, Saurabh, everyone. Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Sunil. Yes.
Yeah. Can you explain me about components of data science? What are the fields included in data science?
Um, so data science itself is a subfield of machine learning. There are different parts involved in data science, like data engineering, which are engineers who try to collect data because the data out present out there in the real world, it's very unstructured and it's not very clean. So you want someone who can help with writing SQL queries to fetch that data and store it somewhere efficiently. And if you're doing it at a scale of big tech companies, then you would handle a lot of data, like millions of GB and terabytes and gigabytes of data. So you want someone who can write those programs and parallelize them. So this is one field, which is data engineering, which cleans up your data and gives stores the data in a format in which you can consume. There are data scientists whose job is to study that data, assess it, and come up with understanding things that other people can understand, or results as well, metrics which you can use to assess the quality of the machine learning algorithm that you are trying to deploy. So that's part of data scientists. And then there's also machine learning engineers who put those algorithms and techniques in production. So these are the fields which are available in data science.
Okay, okay. So yes, Animesh, can you just please tell us that what are the general mistakes, right? What are the general mistakes that people commit while entering into this huge broad field, right? Suppose somebody is trying to enter, then what are the general mistakes he can commit? Suppose if you want to do engineering, and when we before doing the counseling, we go for like the branches which we are not interested in, and then later we realize that yeah, it was this branch that I should have been into, right? So since it is a very broad field, so how can someone uh, watch his interest or her interest, that which field should I enter in? Or so what are these general mistakes which people can commit?
Uh, I won't say that it's a mistake. It's perfectly all right that you don't know at that time what you want to do 5 or 10 years into the future. If you don't have a particular interest, you can just always go with what your gut feeling tells you at that time, or what your parents are saying, what other people are saying. But you can always switch over to a different branch during undergrad. There are a lot of opportunities available. You can always change your branch, or you can try to study the field that you are interested in. People have done that in the past, and uh, I won't say that it's easy, but it's not impossible. So that's one option that you have available. You can work in the field that you are interested in. You can try to do projects, do internships, and then if that field requires a master's or going into grad school, that option is also available. I've seen people coming from chemical engineering background and doing computer science stuff. So that's possible.
Okay, okay. So how do we keep updated ourselves from the recent developments in the technology?
Uh, yes, I have taken this question. As I said, you can always try to keep yourself updated with the latest technology by taking courses. There are always courses available. If you are part of a company or an organization, they have credits available. One prime example would be if there's an AWS course, you are a software engineer and your company works with a lot of data and latest technologies, you can take up those courses, you can train yourself, and that would keep you updated. You can organize a book club in your company, in your team, in which you would take up a book, the the latest one available out there, in the sense that which covers a lot of topics that you want to study. You can start that book club, go through a particular chapter every week, uh, and yeah, that would increase your knowledge. If you're in the field of ML, you can keep studying research papers and you can try to implement them, and you can have like there are what is it called? It's kind of a magazine, which is a newsletter. So you can get access to a newsletter,
Yeah, we can subscribe
which
for
would
that.
tell you,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Saurav is here to ask some question that I am first year BTech student. I want to learn AI and ML and work for the same. Please give some ideas from where should I start? He's actually in the first year of his BTech.
Uh, so if you have some courses available in your undergrad, like in your institute, That would be the most obvious step. But if that is not available, then you can go to some online classes that are available. Like I said, Coursera, Upgrad, as Ajay mentioned. There's an academy. Then there are open courses available from Stanford and Columbia and other places. I'm guessing MIT as well. Uh, but start with Coursera. Those are very basic courses. Once you get a hang of that, once you have done those assignments and you are confident, you have some kind of an experience with Python, uh, you can move over to some complex courses that are available at Stanford and everywhere else. You can try to do some competitions on Kaggle. Um there's this website called Analytics Vidya, which publishes a lot of articles on the very basic ML algorithms. You can go through those articles. If you have these kind of experiences, once you have done some competitions and you have come up with some results, you can start applying for internships in companies. And that would give you a lot of experience and make you prepared for the full-time job opportunities which are available.
Okay, great, great. So we have Mantu is asking some question. Yes, Mantu, please proceed.
Yeah, hi, anyways, I just want to know is there is any difference between the data structure that we are using in the language like C, C++, Java, and all, and the machine learning? Is there is any difference?
As for data structures, I don't think there's a specialized data structure for ML or so if you know about how if you know how to implement a data structure in C++ or Java, you can easily translate that to Python and vice versa as well. So yeah, I mean, there's no specialized data structure for ML. It uses all the basic coding principles and data structures which you use for other software engineer or backend algorithm backend projects.
Okay, thanks, Animes. Animes, next question. Like, let me. I just want to know that are we using any machine learning? What we are using is there is importance in real life? Like, is there is any difference? Like, everything we can do with Java or Python, but is there is any requirement of machine learning now?
Um, so there are a couple of things. One prime example is imagine so Google, you use Gmail in your day-to-day life, and there's this spam folder that you see, and it's not very accurate because sometimes they put some emails which are very important, and those emails go to your spam folder. But that is not done by some human being or a manual algorithm. So one major difference between your normal backend projects and machine learning project is when you write your backend code, you have certain scenarios in mind which you try to test by writing unit test or some other kind of test, and you know that this program is going to work in these conditions, and at a logical level, it's nothing but it's kind of testing your if and else conditions. Like it tries to test all the basic scenarios that you have in mind. But if you can always try to break that particular program by giving it some kind of a problem which it won't be able to solve. ML algorithm is very there's this is the basic difference in the sense that ML algorithm tries to work with unseen conditions as well, and it's able to resolve those unseen conditions which your normal traditional program won't be able to do. So spam folder, it tries to it if you give it a different format, different kind of a spam email, uh, it will be able to process that information, and it will be able to tell you that this is a spam email, which you won't be able to do with a normal traditional backend code.
Okay, thanks, Animesh. Animesh, one more. Is there is any role of mathematics in machine learning?
Yeah, mathematics is the building block or the basic block of machine learning. So machine learning is nothing but a combination of algebra and calculus. So it's a combination of both these branches of mathematics. So the building block would be mathematics. So I would say that's very important.
So, which type of topics like that is important for machine learning? That we can only algebra or calculus or something else?
Algebra and calculus would take you to a lot of places. I guess yeah, that's those two fields are very important. Nothing else comes to my mind right now. Most of the stuff that I have studied involves calculus and algebra.
Okay, okay, great, great. That was a great insight. And I hope, are there any questions remaining in the chat box? Anyone? Chandan is also there. Chandan, would you like to ask any question to Animesh regarding artificial intelligence and machine learning and anything you can ask to him, right? And Saurav is also present there. Aditya is there. So let me just go through the chat box and yeah, I think all the questions have been covered. What are the components of data science? We have covered it. Okay, okay. I think all questions have been covered. So in case, yeah, Sushma, yeah, you can continue. Yeah. So I think she's not audible to us right now.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes. Now you are audible. Yes.
Yeah. Sir, I want to know that you have used the term that you need to study research paper. But when I was going through the research paper, some site are there, but I didn't get the full research paper. So can you suggest any good site that where we can go through the for good research paper?
So that's an issue out there. So you won't be able to access all the research papers for free. One site would be if you have a researcher or a name of a person in mind, you can always look up his Google Scholar profile, which lists all the research papers that has been written by that person. But yeah, uh, I think IEEE doesn't open source all the research papers, so that would be an issue. But other than that, there's archive. Which you can access. It lists all the PDFs for free. I think one is from Cornell University. So if you go to their website and if you have the name of the research paper in your hand, you can always search for that research paper. And the first couple of links, if it is an open source PDF, Google would provide you with that link. But other than that, I don't think it's a free website is available for accessing all the research papers.
Okay, thank you, sir. Sir, I wanted to know that in machine learning we are using supervised learning, unsupervised learning. So, can you tell me a real-time example of reinforcement learning? Reinforcement learning.
So reinforcement learning, a real-time example would be if there was this program released by DeepMind. It's a company which was acquired by Google a while ago, and they released this chess playing program. And also this Chinese board game by the name of Go, and they released that particular program, and it used reinforcement learning to train itself on how to play chess, and that's a very basic example. Reinforcement learning is again nothing but you try to imagine all the scenarios and you try to reward the program if it takes a successful move, or penalize it if the move is a losing move. So that's your reinforcement learning in a nutshell, and that's a application example which is out there.
Okay, thank you, sir. I don't think anyone has any more question left. Ajay?
Okay, so yes, sir. So I hope everything is uh, covered from the chat box also. So yeah, so yes, Animesh, any words you would like to say to our viewers regarding the, your general view about this whole thing which we have discussed? Any conclusion part you would like to say to our viewers?
Uh, I would say thanks, guys, for having me. It was great interacting with you. The questions were really good and they were really insightful. Uh, I hope I was able to help the people who are going to watch this recording or this podcast. Uh, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me on my LinkedIn. Um, I'm always happy to help. And other than that, what you guys are doing in terms of educating people, that's a really good mission. And I hope that you guys keep doing that and you help a lot of students out there. Yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay, great, great. And yes, thanks, Animesh. Thanks for joining. I think it's very, it's around it's 12 a.m. right there in your place, right? So
Yeah,
yeah. So the whole day Animesh was working, and he joined us at even this time. We are extremely grateful that he joined and giving the insights to all of the viewers and everyone who will be watching the recordings. Yeah. So the whole team of Baba Ki Pathshala would like to thank you, and yeah, from Sushma, everyone, and the Sushma was a great host. Yeah. So yes, Chandan is also present, Aditya, Mantu, and Saurav. Yeah, Neetu is also there. Everyone, we would like to thank you for joining us. Okay, so let us wrap up the session. And thanks, Animesh. Thanks for joining.
yep. Thanks, guys. Have a
Okay,
great weekend. Bye.
bye.